Hello, welcome to Goldwing Coding, where we throw code to the wall and see what sticks. And today I am here to show you a project that I've called the Callags Logger, key logging phenomena. And what we will be discussing today are really just these four short points here, such as what is a keylogger, why use this software, how to protect yourself, followed by a demo of how everything is put together. So first things first is, what is a keylogger? So as the name suggests, this is a computer program made to log each keystroke made on a keyboard, which is then saved to a file. Now, the demo will give a more detailed explanation of how this works. I just kind of want to give a quick idea of what it is right now. So why would you want to use this software? Well, as my definition states, you could use this to blackmail your friends and family with their search history, grab someone's Netflix login as it's sent in the clear, or maybe management wants to see what you're doing at work. And while this might sound terrifying to those of you just hearing about this, there are a few ways to protect yourself that I've come up. First thing I can think of is download and use programs from trusted sources. So if you're wanting to use Google Drive, you would just go right to Google itself and use the programs from there because it's a trusted source. Now, sometimes I would recommend using like antivirus software, maybe like Malwarebytes, Semantic, etc. But at least with my tinkering with this, Windows Defender was able to block these just fine. And ultimately, the best piece of advice I can tell you is just think before you click. Just think, is this a trustworthy file? Is this from a good source, etc. And with that out of the way, we will get into the demo to show how this project it comes full circle here. Yep. So this right here is the code for the project. So at the very start, when you run this program, it will first utilize the logging library here. And this right here is where we're setting up the basic config for it and saving the file that we're going to be using logging with to a file called keylogs.txt, and the formatting is going to have the current time this key is pressed as well as what type of key right over here. I'll give an example a little later on, but this is just how we start up the program at the start here, just kind of get everything rolling here. And just kind of scrolling all the way down here, right at the bottom here, we have this listener function where it is waiting for input using the onPress function, which is looking at the onPress function all the way up here. So what this function is doing is essentially waiting for a key, in this case, to be inputted, and it will then take info of said key and send it to the keylogs.txt here. And after that key is pressed, we count the key logs by going into this function right here where we count them, and we look at the keylogs.txt. We open it to read the lines in said file, and for each line we add a number to line count. So then, and we keep doing this until line count is equal to 100. And once that's done, first thing we do is we take a screenshot of your computer using the Pi Auto GUI library here and saving that screenshot as simply image.png. Once that's done, we then send the file, keylogs here, out to an email, out through email. Before we do that, and then once that's done, we will then clear the file, clear the keylogs.txt file, so that the next batch of keys can be sent in their own separate file as it's sent out through email. So just scrolling a little bit further down, we have the actual sending of files here. Now, this is, let me just scroll up a little bit. So this is using the email.mime library here for various parts here. So I'm not real familiar with this library, so I'm just gonna kind of go over it briefly, just to give an example of what I'm doing here. So this is just like a funny little message I put, at least I thought it was funny. I kind of put so it's appended to each message. But really the most important thing you want to note here is the sender address, sender password, and the receiver address. So this is going to be the email address that sends said files that we've collected, and this will be the receiving address that's going to receive said files. Now, of course, these are going to look blurry on your end, but you know, you would put them like put them out in the clear for this program to use here. And this is just simply me setting up like the email sending part to sent out on the internet. And this is essentially, from my understanding, just creating the attachment to be sent out, as well as giving it a file name when I receive it. And then the second part right here is we are attaching the screenshot to go along with it. And this is where we're attaching both officially right here. And this is essentially the creating the session to send said email out using gmail.com. Excuse me. So once that's done, we quit the session and then we print mail sent, and you'll see it come in my inbox here. So I know that's a lot to take in. Don't worry, we will run the code or the executable here, and it has it. So without a doubt, here we go. So here, just before we open, this is like the keylogger.txt open here, and then this will be a screenshot of my current screen. So let's just run this and get going. Okay, so here it is. It's waiting for input. So I'm just going to put in 100 characters. Okay, so now you see right up here we have message for mail sent. So before I check my email, I'm just going to look back here. So you see in keylogs.txt we have a written time of 7:11 on May 2nd. Alright, adds up, as well as an image file right here. If I were to open this up, you would see just right here you have date, time, to like the millisecond here, and then whatever key was pressed. So if someone was signing into, say, like Amazon, Hulu, etc., like I could see your password out in the clear. Now I just want to point out to people, like this executable, I actually had to make an exception in Windows Defender to run. So if you were to run this right from the get-go, I am certain that Windows Defender would block it without a doubt. So I had to make an exception for it. So now, if we were to just go back to my email real quick, let's do a refresh. Here we are. So here is the email I was the sending email I was referring to. And then here is the message. The goofy message I made. And then here is first the screenshot of what we had sent earlier. Notice the time down below here and the date with this one right here. As well as the actual key logs that were recorded from this program. So, yeah, went over a description of what Keylogger is, how it can be used, how to protect yourself. It's followed by the conclusion of this demo. Yeah, I really like putting this together, and I hope you really enjoyed watching it. Thank you. Have a good day.